Now that we've got the key elements of our web page in place, we're going to have a look at changing the color, and we're going to use Google's material design language to help us with picking good colors that work together well. We're going to use that to change the background colors of some of the elements towards the top of our page, and we're also going to change the hyperlink colors of our navigation elements. So we're going to use a website called materialpalette.com to help us pick the colors that are going to work together well. This is based on Google's material design language. I'm not going to go into too much detail about that now, but essentially you can choose two different colors, and the first one that you click on will define the primary colors, and you can see there's a darker shade and a regular shade, and then you can choose an accent color which will change things like this button here, for example. When you do that, it gives you down the bottom right all of the different hexadecimal codes that represent those colors, and that's what we need to use that specific color in our CSS. So I'm going to choose blue as my primary color and this indigo color as my secondary color or my accent color. And then down here, all I need to do is click on the hex code itself, and you can see it copies that code to my clipboard so I can paste it into my CSS. So this is the dark primary color, and what I'm actually going to do at the top of my CSS is put a comment in with that color code so we can use that consistently throughout our document. It's easy to put comments in CSS. You have this backslash, then the asterisk, and if I put in dark primary color, paste in that code there, I'm going to do the same thing for primary color. And the last one I'm going to use in this case is just the accent color. Because we're keeping it reasonably simple, I'm not going to copy in the other color codes just yet. Then I need to close my comment. At the moment you can see all of this CSS is still grey because I haven't ended my comment. To do that, the asterisk and then backslash, and you can see the color comes back here because it's no longer part of that comment. Right, so I'm going to use this dark primary color to change the top of our web page, which is the H1 section. So we've got all of this CSS at the moment that's creating quite an ugly heading at the top. So I'm going to delete all of that CSS out and just change the background color to that code that we copied in. And you can see it's gone blue up there as we'd expect. Then the navigation section we want to change to the lighter of the primary colors. So I'll copy that one. I'll make a new rule, nav, and change the background color again. So let's have a look at our website and see how it looks. We've got the darker primary color at the top and then the lighter one underneath as we want. We're going to look at how we can change the color of these links though, and we're also going to remove the underlines because that's not how we want to represent our navigation bar in this case. So we're actually going to go back to our material design palette, and we're going to use a few more of these colors now. Their main text, we're going to have it just as white, so I'll copy in that code there. And we can use that white color to style our text color. So in the H1 section, we're going to put color, change that. And then in our nav section, we need to actually change the color of the A tags. I'm going to change that to white as well. So now if we go back to our live preview, you can see everything is looking as we'd expect it to, but we still have this underlining here of these A's. You can see it's also changed the color of that link there, which is perhaps not what we want. So if we go back to our CSS again, remember just like we did with our nav UL, if we change this to nav A, it will only affect the links which are in the A section, so you can see that still remains the same. We also want to remove the underline from these links, and so that's a new property for our rule here, and it's text decoration, and we want to change it to none. So now you can see that underline has disappeared from these links. The links are still functional, but we've changed the default styling to something that's more modern. The final step for this video is to change the color of this text when we hover the mouse over it. That'll help the user know that it is actually a link that they can click on. To do that, I'm going to go back to my material design palette. I'm actually going to choose this dark black color here, so I'll click on that one, copy it to my clipboard, I'll add it to my comment, and I'll call this one hover text. And to do this in CSS, you need a special type of property here. So we're going to use nav a again, but we want to this time put the colon, which is just the 2 dots, and type hover. The rest of the rule is the same. We can define color and paste in that color code that we have there. And this CSS rule will only be activated when we hover over an A tag that's part of the nav element. So if we go back to our website and move my mouse over here, you can see the color changes as appropriate. Okay, that'll do it for this video. See if you can get those colors in and get your hover effects working on your links as well.